Good morning. You feeling your oats? We're time to have an oat show and have some oatmeal, rolled oats, and gonna have it with a little bit of granola. I guess granola is always oat. Excuse me. So you can see here the oat sprig of oat there with this cherry pistachio pecan. So this is just straight oatmeal. I'm gonna add some of this granola. Yeah. I guess all granolas, or did I say that? All granolas are. I hear some oat. I'm trying to do all this with one hand. There's some oat milk. Yeah, look at that. So we're going to be doing a whole show on oats. Here, this is the fiddle spreader, seed spreader. We're going to be showing a video of that in just a minute. And while I continue having my oatmeal, my oat milk. Let's look at this.
Over the years, farmers and crafters in Scotland used different kinds of equipment to sow the seeds. Many early pieces of equipment were locally made. Here we see Dode working a very ingenious piece of equipment. So Dode, fits this here day in the day?
Oh, sawing corn.
Aye, and fits this kind of machine, what did he call it?
Just a broadcaster.
Aye. And I've heard it called the fiddle as well.
Fiddle, yes.
And can you saw different stuff using that?
Oh, you can saw grass seed and all like.
No?
You have a setting and below here for
different.
a hole, a different.
Aye. And how far would it cast the corn?
16 feet were cast.
Aye. And would it be easier than a hopper? Or?
Oh, it's much easier working in a hopper like.
Aye. The bairns about the farm would fill the stable pail with corn and coup it into the fiddle's hessian seed hopper like this.
Make it a habit. 7.
It's called a fiddle because it resembles very much the musical instrument. That's just a simple leather thong that rotates this spinning discs with the baffles on, which as it goes round the seed, and I'll show you how the seed gets there, drops onto that disc and it is thrown out from side to side as you walk along the furrow. Now the seed is fed into the hopper through the top. Simple mechanism, and that's it. That's in the correct position. This lever here controls a flap on the bottom which opens, which allows the seed to fall down through. That's what we do on top of the plough, and that's how the seed is distributed on top of the plough.
Yeah, so that's how they spread it. We're going to be showing you the Cyclone seed sower in just a minute, which is not a fiddle, but same principle. So this is the Cyclone trademark seed sower, patented 1925, made in Urbana, Indiana. We're going to do a little bit more about the history of this in a minute. So this is not a fiddle, but you could change the opening. So then there's the label for different grains, and you can see oats is down there at the bottom. To mark 5 rows, 2 bushels per acre, 16 feet wide. That's how you're going to spread it. And whoops, look at the mechanism, the gear in here. So you put the grains in here, the seeds, and then there's got this crank. Where's the crank? There's the crank. Let's see if I can get this thing going. Yeah. So that would be, I've got this upside down, but this would be throwing the, spreading, sowing the seeds up to, I don't know, 15 feet in each direction. Isn't that something? And again, depending on the size of the hole that the grain, the seeds are dropping into, onto this pan, would depend on what size grain you're sowing. Now, I wasn't just eating, I don't know what oatmeal I was eating, but look at this. McCann's, John McCann's Irish oatmeal, Certificate of Award, World's Columbian Exhibition, 1895, Best Oatmeal. And they're really proud to have that on this tin. And then in 1876, the Certificate of Award for their oatmeal at the United States Centennial in Philadelphia. So very proud of their accomplishments. Look at this. Register of Merit brand. I love that. Shock of oats, rolled oats. Raglan Potter and Company, Nashville. And look, directions for the cooking. And there's a seal of approval. To thicken soup for meat, loaf, and meat patties. Baking, all of these suggestions for rolled oats. I really like this. Salzer's Big Four Oat Wonder. This is from a seed catalog. And it just, these seed catalogs in the early 20th century, they had these just beautiful illustrations. I heard a lot of good artists. Over here is some, see if I can show you this. Some more seed catalogs, pages from early 20th century, advertising their oat seeds. This one I love. This was the mortgage lifter oats. So if you planted these oats, you wouldn't have a mortgage. You could pay off your mortgage, I guess. And look at this, Henderson's imported Clydesdale oats, imported from the UK. They're proud of that. Look at that. The ship is carrying oat seeds so that they could sell these oat seeds to American farmers. Look at this little Mother's Earth children, little Scottish character. I didn't care, said bluff Scotch oat, for dinner at a table d'hôte. A bowl of porridge and some tea at home are good enough for me. Here's a got about 1850 beautiful engraving of a sprig of oats. Here's a little tobacco trade card from the early 20th century showing where oats are grown, and a little harvest scene from Russia. Russia and Canada always trade off as the largest producers of oats. I love this. Look at the gorgeous printing on this postcard from like 1920s, cutting oats. So yeah, why oats? Excellent source of fiber, supports heart health, enhances immune system, rich in antioxidants, supports weight management. Yeah. Boost energy and improves digestion. So of course, why not oats? Here's a little bit more explanation. Studies show that oats may reduce inflammation, suggesting all of this cardiovascular health, and very versatile. For years, it was just Cheerios was the cereal, and the process like that, and then these which was a big seller for General Mills, and then they discovered in the late 90s, oat bran healthy for you. So, look, there's Health Valley's oat bran flakes. There's Quaker's oat bran, and then there's Kellogg. So, yeah, they got into the health scene. Yeah, so here's a description of these different ones. This one, just cooking straight the oat groats, that's 45 minutes to an hour, the whole grain. And then the chopped groats, creamy and chewy, this is just 20 to 30 minutes. And then the rolled oats, which I just had, more processed. They're steamed and flattened at the factory, and then soft and quick, 5 to 10 minutes. So Scotland is most famously associated with oats, where they have been dietary mainstays since at least 600 AD. The porridge tradition, often a savory dish featured just prepared with water and salt. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Suwans, a traditional drink made from fermented husks of oats. Sort of a probiotic drink for sure in a food. Samuel Johnson, 18th century writer, defined oats in his dictionary as a grain which in England is generally given to horses, but in Scotland appears to support the people. And here's a label for one of the Scottish companies. Now in Wales, they have this for breakfast. It's a mixture of oat grains served alongside regional specialties like oat bread or laver bread, which I think is, laver bread, edible seaweed that is mixed with oatmeal and fried as a patty. There you see it. Northern England, then they have jannock, oat bread. And in Cornwall, you can see it there. Traditional Cornish breakfast of hand-ground oats cooked with raw milk. And we were just showing you the McCann's label is so proud of their gold medal awards. That started in the 19th century. The most famous white and gold tins. Yep. And here's another legacy Irish oatmeal company. You can see the history there. 230-year-old family-owned operation in County Waterford. Now this guy took over his family farm. Donnell Creedon. This is in Macroon. And there's the old mill, which has been restored. I think it was destroyed by fire. Here he is. There's the products. And using Irish-grown wheat and oats, top chefs in Ireland, best in class, Ballymaloe Cookery School uses the Macroon oatmeal in their bread making. So, yeah. And then there's Quaker Oats, of course. Despite popular belief, the Quaker man, often referred to as Larry by company insiders, is not a specific historical figure like William Penn. He is a representative symbol of the Religious Society of Friends, chosen specifically because of the group's reputation for honesty and quality. So they wanted to tag in on all that. And this is the Oatmeal King Ferdinand Schumacher, another immigrant Started the German Mills American Cereal Company in Akron, and then this ended up being the Quaker Mill Company in Ravenna, Ohio. And then they were a company of firsts for leading advertiser packaging and that cylindrical round package that everybody else had copied. You can see here's the rolled oats company in Tennessee, the Merritt Company. There's their, oh, we're going to get to that in a minute. Oh yeah, well here we are. So the crystal wedding oats, there's a round canister, contained a beautiful piece of glassware in each package. You can see the glassware there. There was replicas. Yeah, in the early 20th century, through the Great Depression, oatmeal was heavily associated with horse feed. To make oats appeal to human consumers, in America specifically, the lady of the house companies began including freebies. And then the crystal connection, Quaker partnered with glassware manufacturer Anchor Hocking to mass produce patterned glass that mimicked high-end expensive cut crystal. You can see, so it was basically just rolled oats, which would cushion these glass premiums. And you would want to collect them also. You would keep buying this product. By repeatedly buying crystal wedding oats, a family could gradually accumulate a complete matching wedding set of glassware for their dining table without any out-of-pocket costs. You were just getting the food. Pretty clever, huh? So then there's General Mills was big breakthrough Cheerios, first oat-based ready-to-eat cereal, originally known as Cheeriots. And researcher Lester Borchardt, I guess, used a puffing gun to create the iconic O shape. And the whole thing smells like Cheerios. Our city smelled like Cheerios owing to large production plants located there. Isn't that something? Buffalo and Duluth, Minnesota. First cold cereal marketed. World War II Yank packs during the war supplied 10-ounce Yank packs of the cereal to the military to offer a touch of home. Toddler finger food, iconic yellow box. Yeah. And so there's Trader Joe's version doing the yellow box thing. Here's a wonderful ad. Life magazine, I think 1965. Yeah, and so they had this Cheery O'Leary, there she is. She was a little character spokesperson. She had lots of cartoon, wonderful advertisements, but fun stuff for kids. And then Uncle Sam visited Cheerio. Gee, Uncle Sam, you can depend on me and Food Quints for help. I guess she had some, they're the Food Quints, her friends. So this, oh, you can get a placemat with all these, yeah. And all this, Uncle Sam visited because during the war, before, or I guess just afterward, no, during the war, 1942, trying to get people to eat healthier and to eat more oat products. But yeah, nowadays, have to be concerned. There might be weed killer, according to this watchdog group. Food, what is that? Food Babe. So they're saying that some residues are in this and the convenience of the processors. And so we got to check that out. Feeling your oats, the workers' diet. As horses were increasingly used for transportation, war, and agriculture, owners realized that high-performance, hard-working horses required more than just forage, hay or grass, to maintain weight and energy. Oats were widely adopted in colder climates like Scotland because they were hardy. By the 17th century, they were a primary animal food and eventually became the standard for equine rations in North America. Energy density, we talked about that. Palatability, horses generally enjoy the taste of oats and the grain is easy for them to chew even for older horses. And so feeling your oats, close relationship between horses and this feed created this phrase, feeling your oats. It originated from the observation that a horse given a high energy meal of oats becomes very energetic. Look at that, energetic. Show we're going to read the magic porridge pot. Look at that. And I think I'm going to continue having my porridge, my oatmeal with my oat milk and my oat granola. So look, if you like these shows, you can subscribe. It's free. You can like them. You can tell your friends about it. You can leave us comments. And we're going to see you next time. Enjoy your oats. Enjoy feeling your oats.